Hey y'all, and welcome back. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to check out another one of my videos. I'm going to apologize right up front, but I feel like the whole video will be very unlike me and that I'm speaking very quietly because it's barely 6 o'clock in the morning, so this is a bit early for me. However, I wanted to try to squeeze this video into my schedule, into my hectic schedule and crazy busy schedule, for me at least when it comes to KateMas. But I wanted to try to squeeze this in and getting a head start on my recording while the kids are still sleeping. So because of all that, just with it just being so early, I know I'm talking quietly, so I apologize if that annoys you, but this is Quiet Katie in the morning, and you guys usually hear Katie in the middle of the day after running around with the kids. I'm a lot more high energy when I typically sit down to film. Anyway, today I want to do a quick little first impressions with the Midas Cosmetics Volume 2 palette that I just got my hands on yesterday. If you haven't seen the inside, here is what it looks like. I'll put the price on the screen because I always forget. I am an affiliate of Midas, and this was sent in PR, so thank you so very much, Midas. These tones are totally my colors. I couldn't wait to get into it, and I asked on Instagram, and I was like, do you guys want to see? I might be able to fit it in. Do you want to see first impressions? A majority, I think like over 80%, said they would like to see one. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. But yeah, this is what the palette looks like. Let's go ahead and swatch it real quick and then we'll get into the tutorial. I cannot tell you the names of it because I struggle to read the writing on this, on the palette, just because it's so like cursive. Oh yeah, that's what's in my waterline. But anyway, there are the first 3 shades. And then here are the last 3. And if you're curious, I have all 6 of these shadows on my eyes today. Here's what it looks like. I feel like I just did that. I feel like I just did these last 2 shades dirty because I put it like on my wrist, which is very bony, but they swatched pretty good for being on such a bony part. But anyway, there is the palette all swatched out. It's a very beautiful color story. You guys know I love my grungy greens. And then this pop of like, grungy Merlot? I don't even know. I'm very bad at describing colors, but this pop of color I absolutely love. So yeah, here's what it all looks like. And if, like I said, I am an affiliate, so I do have an affiliate code and a link if you want to use it, if you're at all interested in purchasing it. No pressure, but my code is Lady Katie and it'll get you 20% off. But they have a ton of affiliates. Everyone is 20% off, so use whoever you'd like, but I just want to throw that out there. And yeah, I think that's everything I want to cover in the beginning portion of this video. Let's go ahead and just dive in. And as I said, let's go to pre-coffee Katie, which is a very quiet and very mellow Katie.
Alright you guys, so this is me coming to you with a voiceover because morning Katie talks a lot more softly than she realized, and I was editing this video and I was just like, I can barely hear myself, let alone expect anyone else to hear me, so I'm just gonna do a voiceover. But I just took that first shade and buffed it all into my crease, and as you saw, it went on super easy. Oh yeah, any background noise is Levi playing on my lap. Really happy with that. So then I just took that darker green. I'm pointing to them because I can't understand the names. The writing is just too hard, but I took it on a pencil brush and put that really right into my crease. And then I'm going to take another brush here in a little bit and use that to kind of buff and blend it out without adding too much color. I kind of left that second brush mostly clean just so it could help me blend and mesh the two together. And yeah, as you can see, once again, like the color goes on super pigmented, but then when I go to blend, it blends out effortlessly and very seamlessly. I love a good ombre between colors, and these 2 shades did exactly that for me in very little time. I was impressed by how quickly I got that blend. Alright, so after I kind of talk in my whisper of a morning voice about how much I was impressed with that blend, I took the darker green and packed that on the outer corner. And once again, you're going to see here as I'm packing it on, like it goes on super easy, very pigmented, there is no patching, and I like touched up into the crease a little bit to blend it out, and it was like boom, done. The pigmentation is beautiful and it blended like a dream. So then moving on to the shimmers, I'm going to use both shimmers, and as you guys just saw, I'm using the darker bronze shimmer all over my lid, and then I'm going to kind of cut and do a half cut crease on top of that with the lighter one to kind of just bring more light to the look. But before I do that, I do want to use some glitter glue, so I'm patting that down first. And then I'm going to start with the bronze shade and put that all in the middle, not going up too high into my crease so I can put the second shade there. And as you can see, I use a smaller brush just to have more precision, but this shade goes on really nicely. It's nothing like super metallic or sparkly or anything, but it is a very nicely pigmented shimmer. Following up with the shimmer from the top row, I'm just using the same brush, I just wiped it off. And as you can see, it's a lighter color, so it really does help to give this look a very cut crease crease or half cut crease look to it without me having to do the half cut crease. It went on very pigmented. This is more of a maybe duochrome, I would say. It kind of shifts a little bit. If I had put it all over my lid, I think you would have been able to see it more, but just using it up there on top to really accentuate and highlight and cut my crease, I thought it was beautiful, nicely pigmented, and yeah, it took no work to apply and very little work to blend and mesh in. I'm just gonna go back and forth with those two shadows until I like how they kind of ombre into each other. And yeah, very nice. Both of them were beautiful. Once that was all blended in, I took that darker green shade that I used on my outer corner and I just tapped it over the shimmers to make sure it was a seamless blend between the two, the shimmer to the matte. I always like to do that. And then once that's done, I took that last shade, the maroon, and I just smudged it under my lower lash line, and it went on really easy and pigmented. And then to complete the look and finish grunging up this look, I just took that first shade that I used in my crease and I just smudged that all underneath that maroon shade that I had just applied on my lower lash line, and I brought it around to connect to my crease shade as well. The maroon disappeared a little bit, so you're going to see me go back in with it and just put it right against my lower lash line to make it pop a little bit more. But a little bit of work, a little bit of extra padding, and it went right back on, I thought. And yeah, I was good to go. This is basically the look. I'm just yammering on at this point, telling you guys I'm going to do my wing liner, put a highlight on, and put a highlight in my inner corner, do mascara, all that jazz. But yeah, that's basically it. I was super impressed all around with how easy it was to get this look. And yeah, here are just some close-up looks so you guys can see for yourself how the look turned out. I got some requests to share side-by-side comparisons of this beside similar palettes. So first up, I'm showing you guys it beside the Empowered palette from Ofra. I'm gonna have all these pictures up on my Instagram if you wanna save them. Just give me a couple days. But yeah, I just wanna show you guys. And then next up, I did the Fenty 10, I think it's the Money palette. I showed you guys those swatched side-by-side. Next up, this is a Dose of Colors Cutting Edge palette that I swatched side by side. All of these palettes are a little similar, but nothing's quite there when it comes to like an exact dupe. They all just have like one or two shades that are kind of close. This is the Gimme Glow Juicy Olive palette, and for this one, I was surprised by how different the two palettes were, because this definitely was the first palette I thought of when I initially saw the Midas palette. Then here it is beside the Kaleidos palette. As you can see, this one was the first one I thought would be the closest, but as you can see, they're actually very different. And last up, just mostly because it's a classic, I had to swatch it beside the Midas Cosmetics Gemini palette. And this one, I mean, the greens, not that close. So yeah, this one does surprise me. But yeah, those are all the swatches. As I said, keep an eye on my Instagram. I'll post them in a couple days. But yeah, this is the completed look. I hope those swatches were helpful. Now back to the still quiet Katie, but at least less quiet than in the tutorial portion.
Alright, so here is the look all finished out. I went ahead, and as I said, I was going to put a colored liner in my waterline. I used the NYX FauxBlacks in Oxblood in my waterline, and then I did a brown liquid liner. Aren't you guys proud of me when I changed it up from black? But I used the Physicians Formula Organic Wear Precision Liquid Liner, and then I just retouched my Better London Sheer Wisdom Lush Lip Oil on my lips. And then, oh yeah, I used the Juvia's Place Highlighter in Volume 3 for my inner corner and also my face highlight. And this is the completed look. Overall, for me personally, I'm very impressed. I feel like this look was very effortless to get. Like, you know, yes, I did spend the typical amount of blending, but it was very quick and easy to get there. And I feel like the little bit of like final touching and just like extra blending that I did was more just out of habit, because I feel like I always do that, then out of necessity. I feel like for me personally, like all of these shadows went on very easily and quickly and built up very nicely. That's the part that I love about Midas's formula, is it's a little bit of a thin formula, but it builds up so very easily and effortlessly. So if you're someone who is kind of scared of color and doesn't want to like put a menagerie shadow on and then have to struggle to blend it out, I definitely would highly recommend Midas Cosmetics, because they're very pigmented, but they build up easily and they're more, you know, just not user friendly, because I feel like, you know, shadows in general can be user friendly, but they're a bit easier to work with and they're just a little bit more easy to finagle and whatnot. And anyway, all that to say, I just feel feel like I got this look very quick and easy, and I was super happy because, not gonna lie, I was a little nervous to dive into this because I did try her Volume 1 palette, and while I do like one of them, the other one was a really big dud for me, and just overall the formula was a little bit different than I expected and that I usually got from Midas, so I wasn't sure if the formula of this collection in general, like the whole Volume, Artistry Volume palettes, were going to be different than her typical ones, but this is the typical formula that I expect and that I love to see when it comes to Midas, so I'm very happy to say that. This is a first impression, so take it for what it is. I've only used this one time on my eyes, you know, I haven't even seen the wear time at this point yet, but just blending it out, using them all on my eyes, I really like what I'm seeing. It was so easy to blend out, as you guys saw, and it's so nicely pigmented, and the shimmers are really pretty. Maybe not the shimmers that I typically go for, though this one has a little bit of interest just being that more duochromeness to it, so it is pretty. Nothing sparkly, there's no sparkle dimension, there's nothing super metallic, though if I wet them I feel like they would look more metallic, but definitely very beautiful shimmers. So that is my first impressions. I'm going to keep this outro pretty short and sweet, but those are my initial thoughts on this palette, and I hope this was helpful for you guys. Let me know if you guys like this more short and to the point type of video with mostly just showing you guys how the palette works, and maybe I can do more of that in the future. And with that said, if you enjoyed this video, per usual, please give it a thumbs up, and if you want to continue getting daily content from me, I'm over on Instagram. I'm LadyKatie92. I'm not uploading there every day in December, but typically I upload there every day, and starting January I'll be back to my daily uploads. But yeah, with all that said, thank you so very much for watching, and I'll see you very soon in my next video tomorrow. Bye guys.